All right, let's keep going. I think this is video number 4. All right, now I'm going to put some shadows going across the ground. Let's put some texture down first. So here we really want to have some fun. You can do texture by just doing the side of the brush like that. It's called dry brush. Now once you do that, use each one of these little dry brush things for water masks. Okay, now we're going to go for shadows. We're going to go really bold. Now this texture here will match this texture over here, but this is pushed back and this is a lot stronger. So purple, contrast to purple is going to be green. And here's your broken color. Light's coming down. And yes, I use this in my forensics, all these tools. I read this thing online. It's this guy, he says, when he was in law school, he started experimenting with animation. I'm like, what? And then he gets out of law school and he becomes an animator. You don't hire anybody to do animation that's not a lawyer. And I'm like, okay, wait a second. So I'm in art school and I'm, maybe I'll also be a surgeon. Well, I cut a lot of people. I mean, what if I was a murderer? Could I then be a surgeon? I mean, I cut people. There's so much training that goes into being an artist. Now, for me, I've been mentored in the forensics for the last 7 years. So I'm an artist who does forensics. I'm not, I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a detective. I'm a reconstruction guy. So I can read things. I can look at everything. Or I can close my eyes and see it. That's all. I love anatomy. So I can read, read the anatomy from the autopsies. Okay. Then I can look at the autopsy and see what I just read. Then I can look at the crime scene. I can look at the evidence, close my eyes, and see it happening. Okay. But I'm not a lawyer, and a lawyer is not the artist. I mean, it could be a lawyer that does art, you know, but, you know, you'd have to be doing 2 totally different careers. So, that was pretty funny. So if anybody's out there, you know, that's a lawyer and also wants to be an artist, why don't you be a lawyer, then hire me and I'll back up what you're doing and make sure it all works for you. Now, if you're a lawyer who's visual, well, that just makes it easier for me, because then I can talk to you in art terms. But, you know, us artists, we've been doing this forever. So this is 30 years. I kind of saved watercolor. So it's 37 years of training. Every day, 7 days a week, from sun up to sundown. That's your training. So, but I saved watercolor till I was in my kind of mid-30s, early 30s, because I knew that it was going to be rough. And I just took my time. I love watercolor. Okay, so I have all this texture here. Let's see how it looks in the camera. 6 minutes. So you see you got all that texture here. Now let's jump over here to our mid area. Okay. All right, so now we move to our next scrap, which is, as the thing falls, so my iPad's falling. All right. Okay, so our mountains are here and they're coming over this way. So when I do my forensics work, I'm following all these proven artistic tools. So I'm guiding the viewer, which, you know, in my situation is the jury. So I'm telling the jury where to look, what I want them to see. All very accurate, right off of the case files. It has nothing to do with the software, although I use the latest. And it just has everything on how to be a visual communicator. Put that together with your expert witnesses, your attorneys, medical examiners, and we're good to go. But I'll put it all together into one package. And I listen to everybody. It's not my, it can be very dangerous if I tell them what they need, you know, who they are. I listen to them, I guide them. But I make sure they get what they need. Okay, so you see 1 clump, 2, 3. Okay, get a little dark back there, so just take a wet brush without any paint in it. Just pick the paint right up, boop. Yeah, look at some of the heavy computer-generated imaging, and because it's so much letting the program do the work, you could have something going on here, but this is jumbling over here, not guiding the eye. So you think the viewer is looking here, but in reality, the jury is looking here because you have something going on. You're not guiding the eye, and I don't know if the person knows it. You know, the person is, you know, paying for it. We're not looking at what you want us to look at. So this is a diagonal coming this way, but then shoots us back here. Contrast, simple, contrast. Now, can we do this digitally? Yes. Absolutely. So this is warm right here, so that's going to bring the eye this way. Yes, everything I'm doing right now traditionally, I can do digitally on my computer. It'll look the same. The difference is I can make changes, and I push a button, goes right to the client. So I can be working anywhere, push a button, goes right to the customer. So my clients can have access 24/7. If you call me in the middle of the night, hopefully it's really important. Am I that crazy? Uh-huh. That's why it works with the forensics, because you got to be available. And I can animate traditionally on the computer also. Flipping paper on the computer. It's really fun. So it's all the same. There's no difference between traditional and digital. Unless you don't know the traditional, then the digital will just bite you. Okay, so we're pushing the eye back. So all this going on here. We'll have this area here where the light's hitting. And go back and make sure I got those trees grouped properly. Kind of in threes. 1, 2, 3, 1. Go 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Pushing this way back. Just lay the brush down with some water on it, soften it. There we go. I want to bring this forward again. All right, so we got our foreground. Now, I'm going to go to the background. Here, not too much needed. So what time is it? 20 minutes? Probably a good place to stop. So the next place we're going to go is going to be some more on the mountains and then the clouds. And then we're done. See how these colors kind of like fade into each other? That's watercolor. And it's so fun. Okay, let's move on to the next video.